walk into your team's room for the third time tonight. They are still on their phones, scrolling, gaming, messaging. You feel that familiar surge of frustration and you mutter under your own breath, this boy is always addicted to that mobile. But, my dear friends, this is what I've learned from the recent research that completely changed my perspective. Your kid is not addicted to their phone, they are using it to escape from something far more serious. Until we understand what they are running from, we are fighting the wrong battle. Welcome, my dear friends, to Simplified Parenting with Emotionally Healthy Child podcast, and I'm your host, Suhasni. In the year 2020, multi-center research has actually done a very long research and found out that the problematic internet usage in teens is not primarily about the disease, it's about the escapism as a coping mechanism. More than 70 to 80% of the teens are having a problematic mobile phone usage. And the teens with problematic phone use had significantly higher escapism scores, meaning they were using social media and internet to deliberately avoid real world problems. So that is why, my dear friends, when we call it as a phone addiction, we are looking at the symptom and not the disease. Research shows that your teen is using their phone as a survival tool to escape from the emotional distress they don't know how to handle. The phone is not their enemy. It's the band aid they are using to cover a wound that we as parents have not noticed. So, my dear friends, stop asking your teen how much time are you on that phone and start asking what's happening in your life that makes you need to check out your phone. Now, let's find out what they are trying to escape from. Research found out that 70% of the teens actually are going through anxiety and depression. They are experiencing boredom, anger, sadness, fear, or stress in the school due to excessive academic pressure and parental expectations. So, no wonder these teens are resorting to phones to escape from the real world. If you're still not clear and wondering what's really stressing them out, here are the 5 hidden stressors that the teens face today. First being the academics, the pressure to excel in academics. Second being the social warfare. Wondering why I'm calling it as a warfare? Yes, it's become a warfare with the advent of social media. And you won't believe if I tell you that in the research found out that 1 in every 5 teenagers are getting bullied or harassed online. And every second teen has started developing low self esteem due to the picture perfect Instagram reels and TikTok videos, thinking their lives are not perfect. Third one being existential instability. Yes, teens are also worried about real world problems, how it will deter their jobs and higher education plans in the long run. And lastly, but most importantly, teens are going through loneliness epidemic. This generation of kids have more friends online without any real friends in the real world. So no wonder loneliness and anxiety is gripping them. Now you know the last fifth one, isn't it? The family pressure. Every teen is having a tremendous family pressure on their shoulders. This research, what I was talking about, done by American Pediatric Association, has really found out that teens are really not in love with their phones. But because the real world felt unmanageable, they are resorting to phones as an escape mechanism. An escape mechanism is nothing but negative or avoidant coping mechanism, which is really harmful for them in the longer run. But let's first understand why kids use these mechanisms to escape from the problems. Because they cannot control their anxiety about the test tomorrow or the school project works and stuff like that. And every teen is going through a lot of friends group dramas with their crush, everything. And they are also worried about their future, whether they'll get into the right college or not, whether they'll get a job. So, virtual environments offer immediate relief and infinite distraction for them. They provide more controllable conditions when compared to the unpredictable real world. And when they are online, they can just curate their image, choose whom to interact with, and leave any situation with a swipe. That is the reason why phone becomes a portable safe space for them. And also, the online relationships are much easier to manage over face-to-face interaction, be in the form of friendship or their crush or even the parents for that matter. So this creates a concerning pattern. If you want to call it, it's a never-ending cycle. Your teen experiences stress or negative emotion, turns to phone for relief, gets temporary relief and dopamine hit. Real world problems remain unsolved. So the stress increases. So the need for escape intensifies and the phone usage increases. So it's a never ending cycle for them. So to break that never ending cycle, we need to understand what are the real reasons why the teens are getting into this never ending cycle of escaping from the real world. Instead of telling them, put the phone down, you can try asking them, I've noticed you are spending a lot of time on your phone lately. I'm wondering if something is going on that's stressing you out. And you can also add that I've been reading a lot recently or researching a lot recently saying that teens use phones to cope up with the stress. So I'm wondering whether are you stressed out? Do you want to talk to me? Or do you want any help? So the first step after having that conversation is to address the root cause and not the screen time. Just understand what is stressing them, whether it's academic pressure, social stress, or emotional overwhelm. And for each and everything, just take them into your team, set up realistic goals, tell them that what are the realistic expectations, how they need to manage, and you need to be the good role model for them, how you're actually handling the real world situations. And in case if they're not able to implement any of the situations what they're trying to suggest, you can always seek a professional help in the form of counselors or psychotherapists. So and most importantly, you need to be a good role model for their phone usage. So you need to be emotionally available to them and create a home environment where it feels safe and relaxing. So my dear parents, please put your phone away during your meals times and when your teen comes to you for having a small conversation. You can keep sharing your own struggles, how you cope up with them in the form of small snippets, not in the form of lectures to them when you're driving your teen or you're picking him up from the school. Respond to their problems with empathy first, solutions later. Most of the teens come to you only to listen to their problems and not solve their problems. So, first start practicing active listening and hear them out. Create a regular one on one time that is totally phone free and pressure free without blaming them. Obviously, when I'm saying all these things, you might be wondering where are the boundaries? Why should my teen have some boundaries about the team usage? Yes, they need to have boundaries about the mobile usage. So set the screen limits. But while setting the screen limits, take your teen into your team and start working on the screen limits. And you also follow those screen limits for your own phone as well. When you're doing this, your teen will observe and then he'll start following the same thing. If none of these things are working for you, then obviously you need to, as I mentioned earlier, you need to consult your counselor or a psychotherapist. So, my dear friends, your teen's phone usage is a signal, not a character flaw. If your teen is surgically attached to their phones, it is not because they're lazy, addicted, or disrespectful. It's because they are in their survival mode. They're trying to cope up with a level of stress that even adults struggle to manage. So, at least they found a coping mechanism as a phone, right? Even though it is not the healthiest one. Now, it's your job to not to take away their coping mechanism, but to help them find a healthy coping mechanism. So, try to build the resilience to manage the real world problems so that they can start leaving their phone and start living more in the real world. So, tonight, try this. Instead of setting a timer or threatening consequences, sit down with your teen and say, I want to understand what's really going on. What's the hardest part of your life right now? Don't fix it, just listen because connection is really important for your and real good medicine for your teen to leave their phones. That's all, my dear friends, for today. Let's meet next week with another interesting topic. Take care till then. Bye bye.